You know, we hear often about some of these incidents where people with malicious, sometimes deadly intent show up to schools with weapons and sometimes firearms, and their intent to do harm is clear. These are always horrific stories, and we hate reporting on them. But what I find just really sad is sometimes when these stories, there's never a good end to it, but sometimes there's a less bad end to it, where a good guy with a gun confronts some of these people with evil intent. These stories tend to get sidelined. And the heroes who do engage in these heroic actions and stop some of these tragedies from happening, their stories don't get told. I want to talk about Mark Dallas, who at Dixon High School today, a school resource officer who stopped what could have been a tragedy. Quickly, though, I'd like to play this cut of one of the parents and listen to the anguish in his voice as he's talking about what could have been an unbelievable tragedy at this school in Illinois.
At first, I just thought that, she had fallen and hurt herself. And then she texted me and told me that there was a kid that brought a gun to school. At first they thought it was fake, but then they found out it was real. And my first instinct was get dressed, get up, go to the school. I got the call from the principal, make sure you bring your ID to pick up your kids. And my heart, like right now, is just racing a million miles a minute, because never in a million years did I ever think that this would happen at my kids at school, let alone anybody else's. It's bad enough that everybody in other states have got to deal with this. And now to hit home with me on my daughter's last year of school, and my son's got 2 more years, to freak out like that, knowing that in a blink of an eye, both of my kids could have been taken, is very, very frightening. And for anybody out there that that is watching this, make sure that, your kids are very protective at the school, because it could happen to anybody. And now it's hit home with me, and it's a very big eye-opener. I think it was very, rapid, handling how they handled the situation. The police department got there, in the blink of an eye. And, they took care of the situation, got the kids evacuated out of the school. None of those kids were hurt, and so I can say for the Dixon Police Department, very good job protecting the kids, not only my own, but all the other parents' kids out there. I applaud you for the services that you do, protecting my children and everybody else's children, and just heads up, and thank you for being so supportive of the kids and protecting my children as long as everybody else's kids too.
Hey, you're darn right. God bless those police officers every day who run into the line of fire when everyone else doing what they should is running away. We don't blame you one bit. But what's sad is of an hour ago, we checked out CNN, or an hour and maybe 20 minutes or so now, and we don't see anything on their homepage about this hero. Why is that? Listen, it'd be easy for me to attack them for media bias. It's always there. It's typically always there. It's CNN anyway. But why not cover this story? You have a heroic school resource officer who stops what could have been a mass tragedy. A good guy with a gun, trained to protect these students. He accomplishes his mission. And you see almost nothing on the mainstream media about that story. Yet when these situations get tragically worse, you see nonstop coverage of an event. Folks, this is agenda-driven news coverage. It's not genuine journalism. This guy's a hero. All of these events are tragic, but he deserves to be highlighted too. And as we know, and we've seen in these cases, the only thing that's going to stop these killers with a gun is a good man or woman with a gun trained to intervene and stop what could be a really awful, tragic attack. Well, we're going to hear Mark Dallas's name here, and thank you for what you did, and thanks to the Dixon Police Department for heading off what could have been an even worse tragedy.